What's a red flag you didn't notice until years later? After I gave birth to our seventh daughter, my husband Emilio emptied our living room closet and built an altar inside. He then started praying to it every night. At first, I thought it was a religious thing for him, until one night I overheard him asking God to give him a son. Every night after he said his prayers, he'd take me to bed and we'd get hot and heavy. And a couple of months later, I found out I was pregnant. You see, I loved kids and had always wanted a huge family, but I never cared about the gender of my child. All I wanted was for my kid to be healthy. Emilio, on the other hand, desperately wanted a son. I even saw him writing in his diary about it. So when I wanted to keep up with our tradition and do the gender reveal party and baby shower for our next baby, I was shocked when he said there was no need. I didn't understand why, but he said he was sure we were having a son, so there was no need for the gender reveal. Well, after days of trying to convince him, he finally agreed, but said to buy only blue things because he was just so sure. I was just happy to celebrate my child, and I went to our usual baker to make us the gender reveal cake. Once I handed her the slip of paper from the doctor that had the true gender of our child, she smiled and said, "Congratulations, I will make it perfect." So once the day of our party came, we had about 40 people hanging out, drinking and dancing in our yard, and then came the time to cut the cake. Emilio was extremely excited, and he said he wanted to cut it this time. So I stood next to him as he sliced in, and he didn't even bother to look down. He just lifted the first piece of cake and yelled out, "It's a boy." But everyone looked at him confused as pink gushed from the center of the cake. I giggled and said, "Emilio, look down." And the moment he did, he had a subtle look of disgust on his face. He tried to laugh it off and act happy in front of our guests for the rest of the evening. But that night when we went to bed, he wouldn't even look at me. He gave me the silent treatment for the next few days, until one morning he woke me up and said, "Come on, I have a surprise for you." I got up excitedly, and thought he was going to take me out as an apology for the way he's been treating me. And as he drove, it was the first time I'd seen him smile in days. I begged him to tell me where we were going, but he told me to just hold on because we were almost there. Before he parked, he told me to close my eyes, and I did as told. He then led me out of the car with my eyes still closed, and once he said to open them, I gasped in horror. He drove me to the baby garbage clinic. "Ta-da," he said. "No need to have this one. Let's just get rid of it and try again until we have a boy." That was enough to make me throw up all over the floor. "There's no way I'm getting rid of her just because she's not a boy. Are you crazy?" I yelled at him. He looked shocked at my response. I was so disgusted by him that I got in the car and drove myself home, leaving him on the steps of the clinic alone. That night, I called up a therapist and scheduled a visit for the following day. Once Emilio got home, I told him I had a surprise for him. I drove him to the session the next day, and he's been going there for the last few weeks. But I can't get over the initial way he hurt me, and I'm living with doubts about having kids with this man at all.